Like it showed up on our new.
We're on our way to TEDx in San Francisco. Right, Kevin?
That's true.
It's like 2 in the morning.
Wow, I've got such supportive friends, really.
You guys looking for Corey?
They support me all throughout my day, the things that I do. It's nice.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's true. We are going there.
That is hilarious.
So yesterday I attended an event in San Francisco where they outlined 5 easy tips for outsourcing your development. So I wanted to put that content on here for everyone watching online. And right now we're on our way to TEDx. So I'll give you the tips as we go throughout our day. It's gonna be an exciting day. Where are we right now?
Right now we're in San Francisco, sitting in that world famous 101 traffic. If you take a look over there, you can see the gridlock. But we're gonna listen to some game changers right now and hopefully learn some more tips that we can share with you guys.
Nice. That's Kevin, if you didn't know him from my previous vlogs. All right, so we'll hit you with 5 tips throughout this day about outsourcing your development. We just got to TEDx in San Francisco. Why are you laughing, Joe?
I'm just laughing.
He's just laughing. He's always got his water bottle everywhere he goes.
What does this have to do with your blogs? This is what you're blogging right now?
Again, I've got such supportive friends. All right, just got out of listening to some TED Talks. Tip number 1 right here for outsourcing development. Before you build anything, talk to users first. Everybody says it, but nobody does it. Read Steve Blank, The Lean Methodology, The Lean Startup. That's a great book. I'll post a link in the description. Talk to users, learn from your users. Anything to add, Kevin?
Don't spend too much time trying to perfect the product. You want to release it as early as possible. I think it was Reid Hoffman that said, if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, then you've launched too late.
If you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late. Reid Hoffman. That's good. I'm gonna put it like on the screen really big. That's a really good quote. But yeah, talk to users before you build anything. Tip number 2 coming soon.
What?
We're about to go to lunch.
Hello.
Well, although we kind of just ate a little bit.
Right after the McAllister.
But we're gonna go eat more. And then we're gonna go visit Kevin's sister. She works at a startup. I'm not quite sure what the startup is, so we'll find out.
Airbnb for camping.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right, so we're about to go to their offices.
Can't believe.
Hopefully they let me record something. But as we wait here for our
It's
Uber.
across the street.
All right, Kevin, interrupt my vlogs. As we wait here for our Uber, tip number 2 for outsourcing development.
Let's go.
You want to write user stories. After you talk to your customers, write user stories. The more user stories that you write, the better your product's going to be. And you're going to target your specific product towards the user stories. So there's a really good formula that I'll put on the screen right here that you can follow. So Kevin has a startup where you can find pickup games. So a user story would be, as a high school student that likes playing basketball, I want to be able to find pickup games so that I could, match with new and more skilled players so that I could, get better with basketball. So we're in our Uber
across the street.
but that would be a user story. I'll put, again, the formula right here so that you guys can see that. But yeah, user stories, the more user stories you have, the better. You might want to put them in an Excel sheet. So get an Excel sheet, and every user that you interview, every customer, potential customer, go ahead and write that story for them. That's very helpful. And then you can give this to your developer eventually after we get through the other tips. And that'll be super helpful for him. So user stories, right, Joe?
User stories.
User stories. Hey, Kevin.
What's up?
What's your sister's, where she works in her startup?
It's called Hip Camp. It's like Airbnb but for camping. So say you have your own lot, you can rent it out and people can come in and camp.
Oh, nice. And we just got here to their offices.
One.
I'm guessing that's it, huh? They got a little poster.
Offices and bosses.
Buddy. It's Fleet Week here in San Francisco, so there's tons of military planes flying over the city. It's pretty cool. I don't know much about it. Do you know much about it, Joe?
Yeah, military plane flying over the city.
Thanks, man. Again, my friends are so supportive. That's literally what I just said. All right, tip number 3. While we walk here to lunch, you want to create all your wireframes and your specs so that your programmer, whoever you hire online, can follow it specifically. The more detailed you do it, the better. You can use tools like Balsamic, which is, I guess, one of the easier ones, and it's free. There's other tools. Joe here is actually
you can go online and go to Prot.
What is it?
P-R-O-T-T. It's an online tool that lets you prototype pretty rapidly for things like phone mock-ups. And then afterwards you put it on your phone and you can even see it like held in the hand. Like it's
nice. And then if you want to go pro, you can use Adobe XD. I saw a demo of their product the other day. Insane, the things that you can do on it. But anyways, once you have your wireframes, you want to put them in a presentation, outlining specifically every specific page, every specific function on it, and then you want to hand that off to your developer. So put it all in one PowerPoint, be as specific as possible, and that's going to help you a lot. That's tip number 3. We're going to go eat now. I'm gonna hit you guys with tip number 4, which is when you hire your developer on one of these websites, which I'm gonna name in a second, don't hire the cheapest option. I'm not saying to hire the most expensive, but sometimes the cheapest comes out to be the most expensive. Just because of their experience, they don't know exactly what you're doing. So when you hire a developer, make sure they've worked on something similar in the past, which that's why the product specs and the wireframes that you sent with the specifications, that's why that helps so much, because you can just give that to them in the interview process or before you interview any developer, so that they can review that and see if, you know, that's a right fit for them. And a really cool trick I learned yesterday is in this presentation that you make, go ahead and put something weird in one of the slides. Like put something like, I don't know, did you know elephants have 6 toes? Something ridiculous in the middle of the slide, so that in the interview process, bring it up in some sort of way like, hey developer, do you know anything about elephant toes? And if they just don't catch on, it's probably because they didn't read the entire document. So that's a really good way to see if they're actually, you know, reading through your specs and paying attention to what you know, want to build. Good sites to do this. Well, Upwork is like one of the most famous ones. I've done a lot of work on Upwork and I've hired a lot of people there in the past. Really good developers out of there. The only thing is that you don't get that guaranteed. It's really up to you. If that developer just decides to leave all of a sudden, you're kind of screwed a little bit. So it's up to you to manage that. But there's other sites. I learned about one yesterday, which is super cool. I didn't know about it at all. It's called TopTal, T-O-P-T-A-L. They actually assign you, I believe, like a software engineer or like a product manager that helps you throughout the entire process. And it's top 3% developers out there from all over the world. So that's really cool because it allows you to have really good quality, top quality developers for your project. So those are 2 sites right there. I'm gonna try TopTal one of these days. I've never tried it. There's another one that's super expensive. It's Gigster, but the developers on there are super top notch. It's just a lot pricier. If you have the money for that sort of thing, then go with it. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep walking, take a little break, and I'll hit you guys with the last tip and a few more comments in just a second. All right. We just got done working a little bit at a coffee shop. Me, Joe, and Kevin.
What to do?
Now we're gonna get on the bus with all our students that are waiting at the TED event, and we're gonna go back home. But tip number 5 is, I hope the lighting is good. I know it's kind of dark here. Oh, by the way, look how nice. It's actually purple. It comes out on the camera as purple too, which is cool, or bluish. That looks beautiful. Anyways, tip number 5 is, when you do hire the developer on Freelancer, on Upwork, on whatever platform you use, or if you find them otherwise, go ahead and have 5-minute meetings every single day. Try to have at least 5 minutes where you ask them, what was worked on yesterday? What are we working on today? And what are the problems that you need help with, or that I, as the CEO or the product manager, can help you with, so that you can get through those problems quickly and easily? Is it, a better server? Is it we need to upgrade, some software? Whatever it is, make sure you're there for them every day. And these 5-minute meetings are really going to help you on, throughout the lifespan of the project. And then you want to have every week, twice a week, you actually want to go through an entire product demo with them, where you get to test the product. So that's tip number 5. We just got back to home sweet home. Was just editing the video, putting the footage on there, but then I thought I'd wrap it up with this last video. The TED Talk that we listened to, the TED Talks, they were super cool. There were talks there about the blockchain, about entrepreneurship in China, about healthcare, AI. What else, Kev?
We also got to listen to Kara Swisher, who's the founder of Recode. She went on stage and roasted a bunch of companies.
Oh, yeah.
She talked about Apple, Yahoo, their shortcomings, how they failed, and how to avoid those failures. It just goes to show, no matter how big the company is, you can still fail, so you always have to be on your toes.
Yeah, she was super funny. But anyways, just to wrap it up, I hope these 5 tips that we gave you throughout the day are super helpful. Again, a lot of those are from what I learned yesterday from this event that I went to, so I wanted to transfer it here. But I've had tons of experience with that in the past. I've hired developers on Upwork, for example, that have worked with me for months, and we've gotten products out there that are really cool. Right now, I'm not working with any offshore developers, but I've had a lot of experience with that in the past. So if you want to ask me anything, or if you need suggestions, or if you want me to connect you with anybody that I've worked in the past with, go ahead and message me or write it in the comments or whatever. And another thing I wanted to say is, usually working with developers, that are outsourced or in another country, or that you're doing things with online, you want to use them more towards your MVP. If you're not a technical person, if you don't have somebody in your team yet, don't get stuck waiting for that person to join your team that's going to build the app, or it's going to build this platform. Go ahead and do this in an affordable way. Get some sort of product, test it with users like we said in tip number 1, and keep expanding on that and iterating. And then, we do recommend obviously getting somebody on your team. At least that's my, that's the way I would do it, and the way that I'm trying to do it currently with the things that I'm doing. So it's good to have somebody in your team. VCs love it. We've heard it from Tim Draper, who we speak to on a constant basis. VCs love it when your developers are on your team. But the purpose of this video was more for those guys that are not technically inclined, or don't have people or connections, and you want to get some product done so that you can start testing with users, and so that you have something to show. So I hope these 5 tips help. I don't know what the next video will be like, probably some more interviews, but I would really love your feedback. If you could just comment in the comment section if this is kind of format works, where you kind of see what I do throughout the day, as well as add value or content that's good to you. Just let me know. I'm new to this, and I really just want to focus on you, and at the same time just documenting my journey and the one with with my friends around me. But just write it in the comments. So please like it, share, do whatever you want with this video. Peace. Peace.